Selamat sejahtera to Dr. Mahira and my fellow friends. Our group will present about acoustic and noise control system in building facility. We are from group 7 and there are 4 members. Anis Faslin binti Sayani, metric number 269775. Raimundo Dio Anak Jarang, metric number 270677. And Miss Shinda Anak Perempuan Lab, metric number 271607, and Nur Hidayah binti Suhaimi, metric number 274038. I will present about introductions. Sound is like other form of energy like heat and light. It's present in every building and has an impact on the people who inhabit it. Emitting and processing sounds are the most important ways that people use to exchange information. Sound is a phenomenon related to mechanical wave and oscillation that propagate through compressible or elastic matter, such as air or building material, in the form of sound wave. Sound travels through wall, floor, ceiling, and other surfaces in the building in all directions. Noise is contrarily generated by the people and equipment in building and their surroundings. Building acoustics are crucial not only for lowering noise that can harm a people's health, but also for ensuring that various noise are transferred and disseminated effectively. People's perceptions of aquatic comfort and satisfactions are influenced by the acoustical environments. Sound sources are inevitable exist in our environments, and the applications of new knowledge on noise control in building is of importance. There I give an example level of noise. This table shows a safe stage. Zone A, intensity 35 until 45 dB. Zone is standard for research place, hospital, health, and socials. Zone D, intensity between 60 until 70 dB. Zone is standard for industry, factory, railway stations, bus station, and another. For this table, show the level that is too large. Zone A, intensity high over 150 dB. This area shows dangerous area and should be avoided. For Zone D, 100 until 115 dB, this area shows needs to wear a plug. I have handed the presentation to my next friends for explain about classification of noise, effect of noise, and noise control in buildings.
Hi, my name is Aniswazi binti Zaidi, number metric 269775. Okay, I will continue our group presentation about the classification of noise. Okay, generally, building noise may be classified into three, which is airborne noise, structure-borne noise, and combination of airborne noise and structure-borne noise. Okay, so first of all, most of us are quite familiar with airborne noise since we are exposed to it day by day. It is exemplified by the drone of the aircraft flying overhead, of the blare of an auto horn, the voice of children, or the music from our stereo site also involved. Okay, in short, it is the noise produced by a source that radiates directly into the air. Okay, same of the vibrational energy of the wall is transmitted structurally to other parts of the building where it eventually emerges as airborne sounds. Okay, the wall itself becomes a secondary radiator of airborne sounds and transmitter of structure-borne sound. The disturbing influences of airborne noise generally are limited to the areas the source. This is because the airborne noise usually of much smaller power and are more easily than the structure-borne noise. Okay. Next, I will explain about the structure-borne noise. Okay, structure-borne noise occur when wall, floor, or other building elements are set into vibratory motion by direct mechanical contact with vibrating source, such as mechanical equipment or domestic appliance. Okay, this mechanical energy is transmitted throughout the building structure to to other wall and the floor assembly with a large surface area, which in turn of force into vibration. Okay, this vibrating surface which behaves somewhat like the soundboard of a piano. Okay, the intensity of such a point noise generally is much higher than the produced by a wall or floor structure that has been excited by an airborne sound wave. Okay, fully balanced fans, motor, compressors, disposal, or washing machine tumblers frequently give rise to a periodic or vibratory motion of this kind. Okay, if the vibration is served enough, it may have adverse effects not only on the occupant of a building but also on the building structure as well. Okay, lastly, I will explain about the combination of airborne noise and structural-borne noise. Okay, a third type of noise source to be considered is on one of the generated both airborne and structural-borne noise. This type of noise source is by far the most common and perhaps the only type of source to be found. Okay, for example, a high power loudspeaker built into a wall enclosed might cause not only the wall to vibrate but perhaps the reverse as well. Every noise source has a vibrating element which radiates noise. A window air conditioner, for example, suspended in a mid-air, will produce a substantial amount of airborne noise. However, when the unit is mounted conventionally, a combination of both structural bonds and airborne noise of greater intensity is produced. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Hidayah binti Suhaimi. My metric number is 274038. Okay, so I will share about the effect of noise of a building on people and also on industrialization. Okay, so what can we identify the noise? Okay, noise can be defined as unwanted sound is likely to have certain physical characteristics, for example, high intensity and also high frequency. Noise has a variety of effects, the intensity of which is determined by the volume of the sound. Noise can cause of tiredness, discomfort, and also efficiency and irreversible hearing impairment. And the first one, noise effect on the people. Okay, so noise exposure at high level might lead to personality change and aggressive outbursts. Noise has also been identified as a component that contributes to violence outbursts, and addictions to loud music is one of the physiological effects of noise. Long-term or extreme noise exposure has already been linked to a variety of health complications such as lost work productivity, communication problem, and also lack of sleep and so on. It also can affect people's healthy sleeping life. Sleeping disturbance is a serious issue for a healthy and well-being person. Due to sleep disturbance, it may affect physical, social, and also emotional functioning. Due to sleeping disturbance, many health-related problems human life such as weak immune system and also arise from a sleep disorder. The second one is effect of industrializations. The majority of sector rely on enormous machines that can generate a lot of noise. The equipment such as compressors, generator, or grinding mills contribute to a large amount of noise produced. If they take these precautions, high level of noise may harm their hearing capacity in the long run. Industrialization is one of the most hazardous types of noise level since it comes from factories or workshops. The hearing sense of factory workers are influenced day after day, and this can lead to deafness in the long run. And the last one is effect on building. Okay, the effect, there is a lot of effect on buildings, such as the first one is construction sites. Construction sites can have very hazardous noise levels depending upon the type and the stage of construction. This work can be indoors, outdoors, or both. These situations will make construction noise just as hazardous as any other types of noisy environment, but far more difficult to remediate. And other example such as the effect of noise on children academic performance resist outside the noisy environment. For example, impairment of auditory discrimination and reading ability and lower reading achievement test score exposed to noise long term. It also can affect college students studying in a similar way because it can interfere with resident activity that involves speech or sound communications and affect resident studying negatively. So that's all from me. Thank you. Have a good day.
I will continue for the next part, which is the noise control in building facility system. The main objective of a silencer or noise control is to reduce the transmission of noise, disturbing as little as possible the circulation of gas or liquid. There are several ways to reduce or control the noises in building facilities, such as sound absorption, HVAC noise control, SPR noise control, and noise control in residential buildings. So I'm going to explain these ways of reduce or control noises one by one. Sound absorption is the ability of a material to transform acoustical energy into some other form of energy, usually heat. Besides, sound absorption is used to control or reduce sound within a room. In addition to reducing the sound level, sound absorption in a room can also reduce the room's reverberation time. When a noise source is enclosed to reduce the transmission of noise, the inside surface of the enclosure should be covered with a sound absorbing material. This is because a noise enclosure with a high sound insertion loss properties will increase the noise level. After all, the sound is trapped inside the enclosure. Next is HVAC noise control. If not acoustically treated, noise from HVAC equipment can travel from room to room in the buildings. The noise produced by fans and motors or of central air equipment can be transmitted through the duct system. When operating HVAC equipment, a good guideline is lower and slower, which means a lower volume of air moves through the system with fans and blowers operating a slower speed. The third way is SPR noise control. Source, path, and receiver SPR noise control involve three considerations, which are controlling noise at the source, along its path, and at the receiver. First, controlling noise at the source. Before designing acoustical treatment to attenuate noise at the source, moving the source to a more distant location or to another area where its noise will not reach an objectionable level at the listener place. Controlling noise along its path where sound may be reduced by placing sound absorbing material on surfaces from which sound will be reflected. Structure-borne sounds also travels along a path from source to receiver. Sound wave can set walls and other structure into vibration, and the only way to reduce structure-borne noise along its path is to put vibration brakes in the structure. And lastly, controlling noise at the receiver. There is only one way to provide permanent receiver noise control, and that is to enclose the listener in an acoustically effective enclosure or room. And the last one is noise control in residential buildings. The use of proper construction techniques in a building can play a huge role in noise reduction. During the construction period, it is necessary to carefully plan the various building elements like the walls, doors, windows, and so on, as any kind of sounds that enter the building must pass through one or the other building element. For example, Walls are perhaps the most essential component in noise reduction for any building. They are responsible for blocking most of the noises and keeping it away. If there are any faulties in the wall, the structure itself may be jeopardized. Shortly, wall can play a big role to reduce the noises by increasing the thickness and the mass of the wall. That's all from me. Thank you.
In conclusions, there are various classification of noise and effect of noise that we have described. Noise has a variety of effects, the intensity of which is determined by the volume of the sounds. Noise causes dryness, discomfort, efficiency loss, and irreversible hearing impairment. Therefore, acoustic design is important in a building. The essence of effective acoustical design is the control of all components of sounds entering and leaving a room or building space. Controlling noise can thus be perceived as beneficial to the health and productivity of individuals who use the place. It is also for promoting the effective transmission of voice noise so that sound can be transmitted and distributed at ideal levels. In addition, there are also noise control measures in another way, such as using sound absorptions, HVAC noise control, SPR noise control, and noise control in residential buildings. These measures are intended to encourage noise problem to occur especially in urban areas.